You know, it's okay for you to be a bitch. Unlike me, who is cool and plays through games. And you played maybe 2 or 3, but I played 25. I played 25 games. Yeah, Amazon agrees. I feel like backlogs, right? It's kind of overlooked how it's an achievement to finish that many games in a year. Fun should come before the importance of finishing a game for the sake of finishing a game. But like, some of these games have been in my backlog for like decades. Some of these are games I've been wanting to play since I was a kid, and I genuinely feel like we really should be highlighting that. We shouldn't just be talking about finishing the games that came out that year. I want to go over what I've played this year. I thought that would be really fun. That would be interesting to see how my opinion has changed. Yeah, I don't expect to yap a lot about the games here, because really I actually just want to have like no more than a minute of just think like, oh, this game did this, and then you know, like that. I do want to talk about Splatoon 2. We're gonna start with Splatoon 2, which I spent about 15 hours in, and I give that game an 8 out of 10. There's not really much for me to say about Splatoon 2 besides that everything you love about Splatoon is present here, but it's like, I'm so impressed that they were able to make this in 2 years. Like, more than anything else about the actual game is that Splatoon 2 is so important because it gave the Switch big, new, fresh Nintendo exclusive that has like a huge casual like love, and it was there on the Switch like 4 or 5 months after the damn thing came out, when it was like, and it wasn't backwards compatible. Like, that's such a big deal, and it is like an improvement on Splatoon 1. Maybe not in every single way. I'm not a competitive Splatoon player, but you know, it looks really good. It controls as good as it is. I will say, not having the gamepad, I think it definitely maybe controls a little worse without having that gamepad. It was like, you know, in terms of gyro, it's just very awkward using the Pro Controller or the Joy-Cons. Splatoon 2 is a great game though. I had such a great time with it. Very excited to go on to Splatoon 3, probably this year. And then there's Bowser's Fury, which I finished right at the beginning of the game. Yeah, like January. What I will say about Bowser's Fury is I came around to it. I liked it. Like, it's good. It's great. It's a great game. I wasn't like, people were saying this is like the next step in the Mario series. Like, this is one of the best 3D Mario games. People were hyping it up so much, where I feel like people were saying if this was a full game, this would be the best Mario game ever. It's like, it's a big map. It's good, right? It's just not really like, there's no new mechanics that I'm like that impressed by. Okay, no, besides, okay, Plessis, obviously. Plessis is really cool. It's great. It's like you have a bunch of different islands, and these islands all have various 3D platforming activities. You like making the most out of that. You can find different things. If you explore, you're rewarded for it. It's good. It's like everything I like about 3D Mario is here. It's a great little experiment. I don't know if it means that we should go open world for 3D Mario though, you know? Yeah, I just felt like I spent way too much time in that game looking for things to do, rather than having Odyssey's like tight, smaller worlds where there's just so much to do. You don't have to get on a thing. It felt unnecessary. It feels like an unnecessary evolution, extra step in terms of Mario. Because like Bonanza felt like an extension of this, but it's not as big, I feel, as Bowser's Fury this map is. And so it was kind of contained, like it was very Odyssey. By very Odyssey, I mean it was a smaller map, and that's what the direction they should take with the next 3D Mario is all I'm trying to say. We're gonna move on from that though. That was an 8 out of 10. Pokemon on Mega Ruby, and also Pokemon Sword, which I played both of those games very close to each other. Pokemon is good. I like Pokemon. I think I enjoyed both of these games. I spent an equal amount of time in them. I feel like I'm not saying fans by saying this, but I think I enjoyed Sword a little bit more than I enjoyed Omega Ruby, because Omega Ruby is just a remake, and it's like it's a good game, but it feels like a very standard Pokemon game. And Pokemon Sword is also a very standard Pokemon game, but it does some new things. I've rated it lower. It's a 6.5 out of 10 as opposed to a 7 out of 10 because it definitely has more flaws. I think my main strike against Omega Ruby was it didn't feel different enough. And Omega Ruby's story is not that good. I don't like I feel like I'm missing something with Gen 3's hype. The ideas of Gen 3. I love Gen 3 for what it did for the games, for the whole franchise's lore. I think it's important. I would say the same about Gen 2 and 1, but like I wasn't like it's not an amazing story. It's a decent story. It's nothing special, and like I wouldn't say it's nothing special. It's something special. Yeah, I expected more. I expected them to have done more in Omega Ruby and go a different way. I like the extra episode they did. We can move on from Pokemon now, though. But okay, no, in relation to the backlog, though, like I am really proud that I go through 2 Pokemon games this year, right? Because I want to play every single Pokemon game, and that means that I've now finished Gen 9, but now I have Let's Go left. I have both Black Generations left. I have Soul Silver. Sun and Moon, both Sun and Moon games, Scarlet, Violet, Brilliant Diamond. But I did clear those 2 games. I finished Gen 6 entirely, and I'm proud of that. On top of that was New Super Mario Bros. Wii. May as well get the Nintendo stuff out first. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a good game. It's just good. Like, it's New Super Mario Bros. Really is all I mean to say. Playing New Super Mario Bros. U literally a year before this one, I think kind of hampered my enjoyment in this game, since New Super Mario Bros. U is really just New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but with more ideas and visually looks better. I think New Super Mario Bros. Wii definitely does deserve a bit of credit because it introduced like the 4-player multiplayer, which is really cool. Also, I love like the propeller suit is great. People hype up this and the DS to such a degree that it's like obviously my standards were never going to be met. I expected something different, and I got the same game. Like these 4 games are so similar, and I'm gonna say something controversial here. Because they're so similar, the best one is New Super Mario Bros. U. It's the one that feels like it learned the most lessons, and it's the most different one. The level design is just higher in New Super Mario Bros. U. They've added the most, and it's like it takes the most, right? It's the most derivative one because it's the 4th game, but that also means it has the advantage of Kirby Star Allies. Dude, disappointment. I mean, 6 out of 10, as you can see there. Not a great game. I played it in preparation for Air Riders, right? Because I wanted to accustom myself a bit more with modern Kirby, since there's so many modern Kirby games I just have not played, besides Forgotten Land, and it felt generic to me. Kirby Star Allies and Yoshi's Crafted World. I mean, if I have the stack of games here, I feel like I should actually use it. I mean, I talked about Pokemon, there's Devil May Cry, which I meant to talk about this game. I'm not gonna really say much about Devil May Cry besides the fact that I just want to give it a shout out, because I didn't finish it this year. I finished it before 2025, but dude, Devil May Cry 5, just still one of the greatest combat in a game I've ever experienced. And I played Special Edition this year, the PS5 version, to test out a new TV we got, and I just think it's so insane that we're still like, I just dropped it. I just think it's insane that we're still Devil May Cry 5, as you can see. I just think it's insane that it's 2026 and it's been almost 7 years since the last Devil May Cry. It's been longer than it was since between the reboot and 5, and we have no news of any more Devil May Cry. Like, that's insane. How do you bust out the best game you've ever made? The most successful Devil May Cry, right? This one sold like 8 million. It's a huge success. And yeah, I really hope 2026 is the year of remakes, because we do need it. Yeah, every WarioWare game is just like such a fun time. There, like, I've played 3 now. The GBA one, Get It Together, and now this. And Smooth Moves is such a perfect little like showing of what the Wii remote is capable of, that I'm kind of shocked it came out so close to the launch. It's like such a perfect, it's just perfect. But you know, it's a fun 4-hour experience. You bash out a bunch of mini games and you have a blast. Just Mario Bros. Wii. There's Wii Sports Resort, which, did I talk about that? No, I didn't. Okay, yeah. Wii Sports Resort is just a sports game at the end of the day, but this is the kind of game that, like, I think really is why people love Nintendo, because they can take a sports game, they could take a sequel to a sports game, have it not feel like a cash grab. This doesn't feel like a cash grab. This feels like a natural evolution of what Wii Sports was, by adding so many new things, having a few of the old stuff, and then having them all take place on like a tropical island. It's vibes. It's like one of the most vibiest games in the world that you can ever play. Making your little Wii's. I can't imagine how good it must have been to have that game in like 2009 as a kid. Because like, I mean, I literally played it for the first time last year because I busted out my Wii. And did I talked about New Super Mario Bros. Warioware? Yeah, I feel like I should also talk about Crafted World, because like the new Yoshi game is going to come out and it's going to be relevant. And yeah, but like okay, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Crafted World. It's a decent game. Coming from Woolly World, I was so disappointed because I wanted to enjoy it and it just felt like it repeated most of what Woolly World did with a worse aesthetic and annoying music. That's the most important thing about Crafted World. It has actively bad music and it's like totally like, what the fuck happened? Because Woolly World's music is so fucking good. I will also say this, like Woolly World is the best, like it's my favorite Yoshi game. Like the paper aesthetic starts off so like charming and nice and like original and unique, and it just eventually I just stopped caring about it. They didn't do anything to make me think that the game needed to have a crafted aesthetic. Outside of the, like, I don't know, it's I'm not gonna hit on the aesthetic too much. It's really mainly the gameplay that I have an issue with. If it wasn't for the aesthetic, if it had like a normal 3D model look, like they could have gone a bit more harder on the aesthetic. But if it didn't have that, it would be like a 5 out of 10. A lot of the level design is so like, it's so nothing, and they just demand you to go back into levels over and over again just to progress. I don't think I want to keep looking for the suns, you know? Like and then having every level find 3 Poochies. Why the fuck? What? I don't care. This game was made for children who don't have any other games. It really felt like that all the way through, that they're thinking about children first with this game. And it's like, Woolly World wasn't like that. I didn't feel like I was being talked down to while playing the game. For some reason, critically, Crafted World did kind of well. Like, people like Crafted World. People also don't like it. Like, there's definitely a noticeable disdain for this game. Nowadays, I really do feel like the people that got this game have grown up, and I'm gonna defend it hard. I'm not ready for that. There's gonna be people saying that this game is like an underrated masterpiece. It's not. It's not. It's okay. I would definitely put Star Allies above Crafted World in terms of like, I enjoyed the game more, but they both got similar issues in that they're just kind of okay, and they don't, like, I can maybe give credit to Star Allies as it has the whole the friend angle. Like, it tries to push the series forward. On top of that, if I'm gonna round out the Nintendo stuff, it's Nintendo stuff that I played that didn't come out this year, I should mention. Yeah, Mario Tennis Aces, good game. I like Mario Tennis Aces. It was about as good. It's as good as a Mario Tennis game needs to be. In the mechanics work, it's a good tennis game. Like, there's plenty of Mario personality, you know. Like, there's I always remember there's one level where like you're fighting against a bunch of piranha plants. You're trying to like tennis them. Music really pissed me off. It was getting actively annoying and repetitive and just grating. Story didn't have much to it. There was a decent amount of content in that game, and I feel like people wrongly rub in Mario Tennis when they talk about the Switch sports game, like Strikers and Golf and Switch Sports. Mario Tennis is great. Like, it's hard to imagine them making a Mario Tennis that's much better than that. FIFA is going to be much better. It's going to be like marginally better for 2026 standards, but it's not going to be that much better than Mario Tennis Aces, which was, did I forget? Okay, I forgot to put Mario Tennis Aces here for some reason, but I would give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8 at best. Yeah, it was good. On top of that, I want to talk about Hyrule Warriors and Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I'm going to do that at the end of the video, since that's like the most, maybe the game I've thought about the most in terms of my backlog. But yeah, I was really glad to get all those Nintendo games off my backlog, and I hope to get a lot more this year. The Switch 2 has been great for helping me play Switch 1 games, I feel. I'm really frustrated that so much, like there's just so much that hasn't got on the patch. And that's something I noticed when I was playing Pokemon Sword. Like, dude, that game needed a 4K 60 patch, and there's no reason, there's no excuse for it not to have that. But yeah, moving on to PlayStation, Spider-Man Miles Morales is such a solid game. Like, it's solid. It knows exactly what it wants to be. It doesn't try to be too ambitious, but like, if you played Spider-Man 2018, there's new things here with like Miles' Venom powers, but also the whole neighborhood aspect of it. I really enjoyed that game. I hated Finn at first. Like, not at first, I just did not care for her the entire game, and I feel like I was supposed to be sad when she died. And I was like, dude, like, I understand her motive, right? Like, it makes sense for him to do that, but like, I feel like there's so many better ways to approach that, and she was actively trying to antagonize Miles for no reason. Like, it felt, the conflict between her and Spider-Man felt so forced. I think I'm forgetting a lot of things about the plot right now, so I'm gonna not talk about the plot and not make a fool out of myself, since I felt like the plot was still okay. Like, it was nice, it was really nice to see like an extension of get to know Miles a bit more before Spider-Man 2. Like, it was great. It was a great game as a gap in between the two, 1 and 2. And yeah, I played the shit out of Spider-Man Miles Morales this year. I did everything, and really, that's to say that like, I'm just so glad I played the first Spider-Man game and got into these, and Spider-Man's amazing. I love the Spider-Man games. I'm so excited to play 2, probably this year. I'll probably be talking about it a year from now in, God, 2027. I hate years. I hate time. I think everything should freeze so I can just play all of these games. But after Miles Morales, or was it after or before? I think it was around the same time that I played God of War 2018, which, if I can play it out now, this is one of those games that I'm like really proud that I got through this year. Have not played the original God of War games, I should mention, and I do not want to spend that much more time talking today, but like, God of War, dude, like, I was actively against that game pretty much in the first like 5 hours that I was playing it, you know? Like, I was kind of looking for things to be annoyed about. At the same time, it really wasn't gelling with me. I felt like the gameplay itself was repetitive. It's just like, that's kind of what happens when a game gets like glazed a lot, you're gonna, the contrarian is gonna be trying to look for things, is gonna be like, this isn't that impressive. So I was expecting a 10 out of 10 all the way through, and I wasn't really getting that. I was getting it was good. Like, I was enjoying it, but then something kind of hit. I forget. I think it's like around when when Atreus pulls him out. I'm really forgetting the plot here, but that was the moment where I was like, really, I was getting into the plot, and I think that's to say that the dialogue between Atreus and Kratos is like some of the best I've seen in a game, period. Like, they got me very invested in that relationship in a way I wasn't expecting to. At the same time, I do feel like I enjoyed, also the combat was so satisfying, goddamn, like hitting people with that axe. It was good every time I did it. That said, I definitely felt like the gameplay could have been improved. Like, I did not feel like I had a great move variety, and I started kind of doing the same things over and over again, and it's like you can change like the abilities you have, you know, like the L1 and R1. I really forget. And then on top of that, dude, I also just find myself not caring about any of the side content, and I did do some of it, but it was like, whatever, you know? Like, it wasn't nearly as interesting as doing the main quest. And when I finished the game, I went back to do more stuff in God of War 2018. It wasn't like Spider-Man, where I was like, I actively want to keep playing this game all the time. I actively want to keep doing everything else just because it's so satisfying to be Spider-Man. God of War didn't pull me in like that. But it is a great game. Like, objectively, for 2018, such a polished and beautiful game. Yeah, I have my issues with it though, especially with like some of the way those maps were designed, the bosses. Okay, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this one last thing with God of War 2018, and then I'm gonna move on. The fucking, when you go to hell, and they make the I really forget what his name is called, and it's killing me right now, but it's like the keeper, like the god, when you go to like purgatory or something. When they reveal that boss fight is literally the same boss fight you've been fighting for the entire game, with the fucking huge rock and like the slide and like that's outrageous. And I don't know why no one else complains about that, but it was like the most deflating anticlimactic thing, and I just feel like the game's bosses really need to be criticized more. The best ones I feel are definitely like the dragon is memorable. Obviously the final bosses, like with the guy, I forget his name. Let's call him Michael. I don't know. I'll put a picture of Michael now. I don't remember his name. But yeah, God of War was great. Then it was Ape Escape. I got into Ape Escape in general, right? Like I played the second one. I didn't finish it, but I played the second one as well. And dude, Ape Escape is so good. They need to bring Ape Escape back. Yeah, Ape Escape is just a lot of fun. For 1999 or whenever the game came out, like it's, in terms of those modern sensibilities, it's such a unique use of like the second camera stick that you just don't see nowadays, since most games are just using that for actual camera. And Ape Escape is one of those games that uses it for a different function. And I don't know, I think that's really cool. Crash Team Racing is overrated. It's a good game, it's 7 out of 10, but I was pissed off most of that game. I feel like it's horribly balanced. I feel like it visually does not look that good. It feels okay. Like it's a good game. It feels nice to drive. The boosting is cool. It's unique. You know, it has its own unique game feel that is different from Mario Kart. Overrated as hell. It's absolutely not the best car racing game ever made. Assassin's Creed Origins, dude. Origins was so good. This is my first Assassin's Creed game. In like years, forever. First one since I think I want to say Syndicate, and I played it for the first time like this year. This is a game I had been wanting to play, and I had been avoiding it since it had been so long since I had played an Assassin's Creed game. And yeah, I got sucked into it. I think the way they represented Egypt is so good. Bayek is okay, the story is okay, the writing is like decent, the facial animation is bad. Like it's just so robotic, and I felt the facial animation did not do the voice acting any justice, because like it's clear that the actors cared a lot, and there's just not really, like, I feel really detached from what I'm hearing when I was playing Origins. But yeah, it was more fun than I was expecting. I mean, I didn't just beat Origins, I did extra stuff. Really fucking grindy, but I think that's kind of the point of these MBG Assassin's Creed games. Yeah, it was a fun time. Before I talk about Doom 3, I also want to just quickly go through Firewatch. It was such a fun, nice experience. Game that I'd been wanting to play for a long time. Got really into the relationship between you and the woman you talk to. I think that was really well done. That's basically the entire game. I did not like one thing about Firewatch, which is that I really wish the game was more interactive. Since like you're really doing that, like the gameplay of the game is really just do what they tell you and explore a bit. You can explore. There's clearly things that I miss, but I just feel like I wanted to there's a coffee machine in the like little tower that you're in, and like I just think it would have been nice if you could make coffee. Like, yeah, it could have been more immersive, is really all I need to say. But Firewatch was a really nice game. I want to play more games from 2016 in general for a video that I'm thinking about doing. And then there was also Limbo, which, I mean, yeah, I guess I may as well talk about some of the other indie games that I played, which is also Pizza Tower, which I didn't really play in 2025. I finished it right at the beginning of the year. Amazing game. If you like Wario Land, if you like Smiling Friends, this game, or Deltarune, this game is for you. It's hilarious. Aesthetically, one of the most unique games I've ever played. Like, nothing else I've played actually looks like this. Music is amazing. I've been listening to this game's music all year. Pizza Tower is great. One of the best 2D platformers out there, period. There's not really much to say that. I'm really shocked this is like a debut indie game. It should have won. I don't think it won that. It should have won that. Because it's clear that this game came not from people who are super experienced, and I feel like that embodies what indie is to a T. And it did not win that Game Award for that. Unpacking is one of the, it's like, I really feel like I should give this game, Unpacking, a 10 out of 10. There's like maybe a few things wrong with it, but Unpacking knows exactly what it wants to be. It tells a story very subtly that like little details that you can pick up, that you're going to pick up on as you're interacting with the most intimate details of this person's life. It's such a satisfying game, amazing sound design, where like, okay, the point of the game is really just to like unpack. You're putting things in, taking things out of this moving box and putting them along this person's house, and it's like such a like just the idea of that. If that doesn't interest you, I feel like you don't like good games. You know, I've never played anything like it, but it feels like a game that there should be more of. Like there should be more games where you unpack, because it was also a great game to just relax and play. It was like, I always wanted to play Unpacking. When I was playing through it, it was like, there wasn't a single moment in the game where I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm into this. Like you're immediately into it because it's such a simple concept, and like they perfectly execute it. Maybe, like I said, there's maybe a few things that I didn't like about it. I didn't like that you can't switch the angle. And the thing is, if they did that, they would have to do like extra pixel art. I understand why, but there was definitely times when I was like, that's like, I was trying to put something in a specific angle and it's not working because, you know, like you can't fully see every corner of the room, so you have to kind of guess and you have to kind of fidget. It's a bit, that got a bit annoying, but great game. I loved Unpacking. Limbo, I can't believe came out in 2010. Like they commit to what Limbo is supposed to be all the way through. I don't think there's a single word of dialogue in that game, and yet it tells a story. And then it ends, and that ending, I'm not going to spoil it here, since like everyone should experience Limbo, I feel. And I also played Inside. I played Inside before Limbo, and something that I noticed when I was playing Limbo is that, like, I was praising Inside for a lot of the things that Limbo had already done. And like I said, it's insane to me that this game came out in 2010, and it was, you know, for how cheap it was as well. Mainly just like being an indie game. Being an indie game was such a new concept at that time, but being one that tells a story in such an artistic way, because I like, autistic is the only way I can really describe it, because it's so quiet, it's so like subtle. Limbo was amazing. What else? Yeah, then I think now I can move on to Doom 3, which I played because it was Halloween. You know, like I wanted to get into the mood, wanted to get into that seasonal, scary atmosphere. I was like, I need to play at least one horror game. So I looked on my Steam backlog list, and I looked for a horror game. It was either this or Resident Evil. And yeah, I'm glad I chose Doom 3. It was the only Doom game I hadn't played. I get why people didn't like it. I think it does have some flaws. It's not like one of the best first-person shooters I've played, even for that era, but it is really good. Doom 3 is great. Maybe not great, but it's really good. I think, because that game, like, I mean, that game legitimately scared the shit out of me. But yeah, I mean, that is to say that I'm just really glad I have finished now all Doom games besides the Dark Ages, so I've not. But I'm really proud of myself for playing a horror game, because I've barely played any horror games. I think Limbo technically counts as a horror game. It doesn't feel like it. Yeah, Doom 3 scared the shit out of me. There's a part around the beginning of the game where if you look into a mirror, it fucking jump scares you. That scared the shit out of me. I played the BFG edition as well, right? I played the Coward edition, which is like brighter. I think it's less scary in general. It has a different atmosphere. I played the game on full brightness, and I was just like when I was playing, I was constantly like having to commentate and like describe what I'm doing to scare myself less. Yeah, Doom 3 is a scary game, I think. I say I think because I don't have experience with the horror genre, that much experience. Like, I've played some horror games, but yeah, because I'm going through my Steam backlog finishes here. I also have Max Payne, the whole trilogy. And I won't go too much into Max Payne besides the fact that I think Max Payne 1 and 2, I'm so impressed that they came out when they did. And I think those two games have done so much for like that brand of game, like linear storytelling, Remedy. It was so interesting playing the roots of Remedy's games because I played their other games, and it's insane that what they were doing in the early 2000s, I think is really what I'm trying to say. I don't like Max Payne 3 as much as those two games. That much I know for certain. I have Max Payne 1 at the same rating as Max Payne 3, but like it's Max Payne 1 I still think is a better game than Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3 does a lot of things that I don't like. Okay, mainly it's that I think Max Payne 1 and 2 have certain aesthetics, and then there's certain narrative decisions that Max Payne 3 took that I just don't like. There's certain gameplay decisions that Max Payne 3 took that I don't like, but I still really enjoy all three of these games, and I'm really glad that, because I remember when I was a kid, and I saw Max Payne 2 in the Xbox marketplace, and that was the first time I had ever seen a Max Payne game, ever, and I was like 9 at this point, right? And I think ever since that moment, I've always been really interested in what Max Payne is. I didn't really enjoy Max Payne 1 at first. In fact, yeah, okay, those two games are just broken. All three of these games, actually. All three are broken on PC. I feel like I need to say that. Which, you know, honestly, really didn't hamper my enjoyment. I spent time looking for fixes and stuff, and that really, you never want to do that. You never want that to take away from your experience of any game. So yeah. Max Payne 2 is the best one. I'm really excited for the remakes. I think they're gonna show them this year, but really, it really is, the idea of what those remakes will look like is really interesting. I don't know. I do kind of hope / wonder if Remedy would be allowed to make like a proper Max Payne 3. If they would want to do that, that's another thing. I think they do want to finish that Max Payne story. Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny. I can get you out of my mind. Sex and you be all I see. Yeah, that's how I feel about Balatro. Okay, I'm recording this a few days later after I recorded all of this because I forgot a few games. One of them I mentioned but didn't actually talk about. I'm pretty sure I didn't mention it because I'm kind of right. I'm recording this while I'm editing it, but I'm pretty sure I didn't talk about Hyrule Warriors 1, the Wii U game. And obviously this is gonna be really quick. I just want to jam this right before I talk about Zelda. Hyrule Warriors on Wii U is like such a great little like this is what Nintendo can do if they partner up with the Muso crowd. I think it's a great game for 2014. It's obviously not as good as the future games, and I have not played Fire Emblem Warriors, but like for the Wii U in that year and looking at what else came around it, I just think it's like it perfectly shows why, to me, I think the Wii U was not as weak software wise as people say it is, because you just had this like really awesome action game where you could just roll through a bunch of people, and it's like from the 3 Hyrule Warriors games, it's the only one that is like a full fan service game. You know, like it's not one that tries to tell a specific story in a time period. It has a story. It has a decent story, and like a decent villain that isn't Ganon for once. There's not much. There's not too much I can really say about it, besides the fact that I just thought it was really cool going through all of these different Zelda locations, playing through all these different characters. It's less mindless and repetitive than I expected it would be. You know, like you've got a decent amount of combos as Link, and obviously Zelda's really fun. My favorite character I think might have been Impa. Impa was really good in that original Hyrule Warriors games. But yeah, that was a good game. And then I'm going to move on to Balatro, which I don't know how I forgot about this. I think my thinking might have been that because it was like a 2024 game, because it was a 2024 game, because it released so close to 2025, I think my mind kind of like, because I played it at a really, like right at the beginning of the year, close enough to 2024 that I guess I assumed, oh, I played that in a different year. Even though I didn't, I played the game for the first time in this year. And like my experience of getting into Balatro was I hated card games before playing it, and the idea of playing a card game just seemed so boring. Just seemed like something I would never be into because I'm just fucking like, how can picking cards up in a video game, at least, not in real life, in a video game, just the idea of playing a card game just seemed so boring. And it's like, it's so much better than, like, I got addicted to it. It's so much better than I thought it was gonna be. And I picked it up as like I want something to play on my phone. I want a phone game. So I'll just grab it and see how it is. And the moment when it really clicked in that this is poker on steroids, how I can change my strategy all the time. I can be like, okay, I'm gonna go for I'm gonna do full houses, and then seeing just the crazy things you can do that feel broken, but like in the game. All the different jokers. I don't know. Like, there's not much I can really say about Balatro that's like revolutionary, but like. What I can say is I've been trying to get everyone I know. I've been trying to get into Balatro, trying to get them to see why the game is cool, because I just think it's such a people who know poker, it's such an easy way of getting them into Balatro, because it could just be like, oh, it's poker, just play it like you would play poker. I don't know. I've successfully captured, I think, two people. I've gotten to play Balatro, and yeah. As I gave it a 10 out of 10. As you can see here. Yeah, like right here, you can see it right here. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 game. One thing that surprised me about Balatro wasn't actually the gameplay, but it was the presentation and how like really just well detailed it is, how good that pixel art is, and how carefully crafted all of the cards are. You know, it's a very pleasant game to look at. The theme is amazing. Got really, I think that might have come up in my Spotify, like top wrapped or whatever. Yeah. And also the sound design, goddamn, everything about Balatro is like meticulously detailed in a way that makes me think, like, how do you even top that? I don't know how Local Dunk is gonna make like a second game. It's gonna be compared to Balatro, you know? But yeah, awesome game. And I think the final game that I missed was Streets of Rage 4, which is, dude, that was such a fun fucking game to just slam on and play for like an hour. It was like an easy game to get into. I don't know, I had been putting it off and not wanting to play it for some reason. I think I wanted to play Streets of Rage 3 before I played Streets of Rage 4 so I could get the full story. And it's like, you really don't need to do that. It's such a Streets of Rage is such a basic game that I really do think this can be your first Streets of Rage game, and you can, like, that's it. Like, you don't need to know more about the background. It helps, but when I first played it, I was a little disappointed in that the game obviously is beautifully drawn, the music bangs, it's a fun game, and I think I just didn't really I think if it wasn't for the DLC, it would be like an 8 out of 10, really, is what I want to say. Is playing that DLC really opened my eyes into how much of a master of the genre this game is. This is probably the best beat 'em up game of all time. Probably be partial between this and Scott Pilgrim. It's between that for what I think is my favorite beat 'em up game. But yeah, every single punch feels great. The characters all have such different movesets that there's a reason to not play Axel or not hog one specific character. I have criticisms of the game. I did not like how it's like Axel can't even run. I think most of the characters can't even run. I think that's an intentional design. And it's just like the game is in a weird space where it like wants to be a modern beat 'em up, but also wants to be a classic beat 'em up. And I think it kind of goes a bit more to the classic side, and that's kind of reflected in the animations and how the enemies get up, how you move, sound effects. Yeah. But as a beat 'em up game, awesome. I loved Streets of Rage 4, and yeah, I think that's it. Now you can go back to watching the video. You can go to Zelda. And yeah, I think that's all I really had to say for here. But I'm just I feel stupid for missing those games. And yeah. Oh, okay. One last thing I wanted to say. I really undersold how much I enjoyed Max Payne. I think I would shift those ratings a little bit. I put Max Payne as an 8 out of 10, Max Payne 2 as an 8.5. There is like no, like, the sensation of diving through the air in slow motion and shooting this guy. Like for a while, I was just doing this around my room and I was pretending I had like dual wielding. Like for an adult grown man to do that in 2025 for 20-year-old games, I think is that it had that effect on me. Yeah, Max Payne, I really did enjoy those games more than I really said in the video. And like something I really appreciate about Remedy is how they, even in 2001, they've been like centering their games around one central mechanic and then building stories and narratives that are all go crazy directions around this one central mechanic. And it's like in Alan Wake, it's using light. In Quantum Break, it's time. And in Control, it's kinetic, what even it's like psychokinesis or something like that. I love Remedy. I think I really appreciate that I was able to play these games in 2025, since I feel like these games were games I really wanted to play for a long time. And yeah, when I think about my backlog, I think about Max Payne. I think about I'm proud I was able to get through that trilogy and really feel like I have a deeper understanding of games as a whole after having played them. And yeah, I think now we can go back to Zelda. Final thing I want to talk about is Tears of the Kingdom, and as well as Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, and the original Hyrule Warriors, basically Zelda. Yeah, Breath of the Wild DLC, way better than I was expecting. I loved the shrines. I loved how it was like they finally found a genuine good gameplay use for the camera ability, because you don't know where the actual shrine is. You have to figure it out if you haven't played Breath of the Wild DLC, which on top of Breath of the Wild, I want to talk about Tears of the Kingdom in this video, which I didn't actually complete. But like it's like I finished most of the game. I will have finished it by next week, and it's like I spent more time in Tears of the Kingdom than I did in any other game this year, I think. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm really, really bad at this. Trial of the Sword. Trial of the Sword is one of those things I feel like shouldn't be a DLC, since it's such a perfect addition to the game. It's a gauntlet of various combat challenges, and there's like 3 levels to it. The camera's there. 3 levels to it: beginner, intermediate, master. Master is fucking hard. I played a lot of hard games this year. And dude, that final Trial of the Sword, I think I genuinely tried it like 20 different times, and you can't like pause and go back. You have to do all 16 or 20 stages of it in one go. I was like strategizing. You had to strategize throughout all of this because you come in with nothing. You only get what the game gives you. So like if you break too many weapons and you find yourself with no weapons at the end of it, you're dead. You're screwed. You have to like really think, okay, I need to not use too many arrows on this enemy. I need to save this for this specific part. That you get like ancient arrows, and you like, okay, you save the ancient arrows for the hardest enemies, and you're like rewarded for exploring, because like everything is set in like a square. It's like a square arena. It's like a really big arena, but it's square. Trial of the Sword, I feel like shouldn't have been DLC, because it's like such a perfect post game like prove your skill thing. But dude, oh okay, it was really good. So to get the whole story / experience of Zelda, after finishing Breath of the Wild DLC, which I did all of the DLC in preparation for Tears of the Kingdom. It's the reason doing that DLC and doing Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is the reason I wasn't able to finish Tears of the Kingdom in 2025. And that's partially because Tears of the Kingdom was so much bigger than I expected to be. But more than that, it's bigger in a way that feels justified. Like I don't play that game and think it's bloated. I don't play that game and look at the content and think there's way more here than there needs to be. All of it feels like deliberate. And I don't think I've ever played a game before that has felt like that, where it's as big as it should be. Where because there's just like, you know, like I've not killed a Gleeok in Tears of the Kingdom yet. I just finished Goron. Like I finished the Goron stuff yesterday, and I'm 105 hours into the game. And it's like I spent so much time looking for shrines, but like exploring and looking at what's beyond the horizon, and there always is. Like there's chests hiding behind grass. there's people just walking around and like giving you tips about how bugs look, and like just talking about what's happening, like telling you treasure is okay. God, what the hell? This is staying in the video. I need evidence. I think, should I stop recording? I'm gonna stop recording and start recording again. What I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my PC, not even like my PC. They've made such a robust gameplay loop in Tears of the Kingdom that I feel like a lot of people kind of overlook even, but you know, I was one of those people who wasn't into Tears of the Kingdom because it was Breath of the Wild 2. And that said, I do have criticism of Tears of the Kingdom. I do have problems with it. I'm thinking of even making a video about it. The whole reason I took so long to get to Tears of the Kingdom is because I wasn't into the fact that it looks so similar to Breath of the Wild, that it feels so similar to Breath of the Wild. Actually playing the game and forgetting Breath of the Wild, right? Taking that out of the game, out of the equation, having the sky and the undergrounds and all these caves and all, like the terrain is different. Like it is different. It's not like a copy paste. They've changed a lot of things. They've added a lot of different structures, new places to explore, parts that have fallen off from the sky. It's just so big, and I'm just like, I haven't even talked about the mechanics, right? Like the different mechanics, which disappointed me at first. Is I was not into ultra handing and fusing and rewinding and ascending at first, because it largely felt like this is a game you have to find the enjoyment. You can't just, it's not a game where it's like you can just kind of set a marker and just have fun. You kind of have to make it your own, you know? And I feel like that kind of makes it a bit tough to get into for some people. And it was for me, as at first, I felt like I was expected to be a genius. And like, I don't like that. I don't like feeling dumb. And like Zelda is a game that generally has done a great job of making you feel smart. And this game does make you feel smart, but it makes you feel dumb a lot of the time in a bad way. Even when I do something the right way, even when I do something correctly and find the solution in the world or in a shrine or whatever, I continuously have felt like I'm doing something wrong, like I could be doing it better. And I don't like that. I don't like that about Tears of the Kingdom. But about the mechanics, it's just insane the things you can do. I don't think it still hasn't gotten old making cars, and like it's not that complicated to make a car. It's 4 wheels and something. But then there's been experimenting with like making different types of vehicles. For Lurelin Village, which is a side quest that a lot of people may not even encounter, you know, where it's like bringing logs in and having to figure out how to bring those logs here, having to make a car that carries those logs. Yeah, I haven't even got an auto build yet, which I had to look this up. And I've tried to play Tears of the Kingdom without looking everything up, you know, and which I think has enhanced my experience, but also has left me completely clueless. I absolutely adored the little fairy side quest where you have to find like a bunch of different musicians. You have to figure out how to get them over to the people, and you have to figure out how to get their wagon to the ferry so they can play music and free the ferry, and you can like unlock a new ferry area. Like, that's great, but I had no idea what to do at first, and it was so fucking frustrating because I feel like this game one-shots you way more than in Breath of the Wild, and I just played through most of the game without having upgraded my armor, man. And it was all because I couldn't figure out how to activate the ferry that I had to look it up. And I do not like playing a game that feels like I'm looking through a wiki or looking through a guide to try and figure out how to play it. I also fucking hate how the tiers on the map, the cutscenes, are all out of order. Like, what the hell is that? What is this, like, the non-linear storytelling kind of worked with Breath of the Wild. It worked with Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild, by the way. I do not think this should have been replicated here. They should, because like, oh my god, like it's when you're trying to piece together what's happened in a world that's surrounded by a ruined, like it's in ruin in Breath of the Wild. It makes sense to tell that non-linear because you know something happened. You don't need to know the order in Breath of the Wild. In Tears of the Kingdom, it actively pissed me off where the second tier was like Ganondorf coming into power. And then I found out the things that happened before. I really did not like that. And it's just, it's all like that. I really just think like the tiers, whatever order you find them in, they should be telling the story linearly. They should not be telling like specific cutscenes should not be playing when you find specific tiers. I really did not like that. I still haven't even finished the game, so it technically doesn't count in this video, but like it counts, you know? It's the game I've played the most of. Like a lot of these games, it took me 3 hours, 20 hours, 40 hours, but I've spent 100 hours in Tears of the Kingdom in 2025, you know? Like, I do not play a game for this long, ever. I'm a short game guy. I like playing short games. I like spending less amount of time, but the fact that I have spent this much time being someone who prefers shorter playthroughs and experiences, I think should tell you, if you're on the fence about Tears of the Kingdom, how good it is, and how even though the game has shortcomings for sure, there's so much I haven't even talked about. You can't in like 10 minutes. I can't cover everything about Tears of the Kingdom. But I actually just realized I totally skipped over Age of Calamity, which was, you know, not the masterpiece Tears of the Kingdom is, but a really, really great companion game to Breath of the Wild, where it's like if you just play it until characters time travel, it's like such a perfect, captivating, like this is like what people wanted out of Breath of the Wild. I'm just so happy I got to see more of that world, of seeing those earlier champions interact with Link and Zelda. There's so many nice moments in Age of Calamity. It's also a banger of a game to play. I think the combat in that game is so fucking good, and like incorporating the abilities into it, some of the combos you can do, how Link has 3 different weapons and 3 different styles. Fun. It's just fun. I did not regret spending 40 hours in that game. Especially because it's like a great game you can just play to chill while you again watch podcasts or videos or whatever, you know? It's like there's never a wrong time to play Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And yeah, I think that was a great game to play right before Tears of the Kingdom. Then there's also Age of Imprisonment that I sort of played. I need to play that in 2026 now, which I'll probably be talking about that in a year's time. Yeah, I don't think there's anything left for me to talk about that I played this year. I was not fucking expecting to talk for a fucking full hour though. I'm probably going to cut this down, but yeah, let's take this back to the point of this video, which is backlogs. I'm really proud of myself for having played so many games this year. I think like it's just great to take these things off and finally whittle them down instead of having a bunch of games you have and not playing any of them. If I'm going to end this video in any way, I think it's that you should go by mood. You should play what you feel like playing rather than forcing yourself to finish something. A decent amount of these games I did play in like the span of a few weeks, but some of these I like stopped playing and then I came back to them later because I wasn't feeling them. I totally forgot to talk about Life is Strange, which I give a 10 out of 10, which is like, I enjoyed that story, but like, you know, I wasn't into it. And so I stopped playing it after the first chapter and then came back to it. But that's what you should do. You shouldn't force yourself to play a game you're not into. If you want advice on how to like get through a backlog, because we all, if you're watching this, we all have like hundreds of games we want to play. And I'm just really good at looking at this list that I've got, that these are all games that I've checked off that I don't need to play again, but I can come back to if I want to. But now that I have an opinion, I feel like I'm more knowledgeable about games because I've played these. I don't have anything else to say. I am better than you. I am just so much, I am on a higher plane of existence, you know? I've never even played Paper Mario.